Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today's October 24th, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, lots of stuff coming out of Europe today. Starting at 9:15 South African time, French flash services PMI number coming out, and then at 9:30 South African time, German flash services PMI and manufacturing PMI numbers coming out. Now, those are two really important numbers that are coming out this morning. And then later in the day, to add to the numbers, monetary policy statement coming out of the European Union, a major number as well. So lots coming out of Europe today and sure to affect the euro. Now, the euro took a little bit of a slide versus the USD. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But looking at other currencies as well, South African Rand retraces to support, while the Aussie dollar on resistance as an inverse relationship to the US dollar. We'll take a look at both of them as well. And looking at the Dow Jones, pretty much changed at 26,800-ish level. Looking at the commodities, oil rallies nicely while gold remains unchanged. And looking at the stocks, we've have it again, Apple and JP Morgan on new highs. The question is how much further, and will this change the indices? Will it change the Dow Jones to rally later this week? And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we finally broke that major support at that support level at 79-ish hundred, and we're going to take a look at that as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start here with the Euro USD. As you can see, we've had a little bit of a slide here from this 111.66-ish level down to 111.17. Not much of a retracement, about 50 pips there. However, as we're entering this number, maybe this retracement is just to give us a little bit of a breather space right before these major numbers happen today. So just be aware that we do have support level at 110.79-ish level, and 111.66 is your resistance. So if we do break those two areas, that's a major area to break, okay, especially this 110.80-ish level on the downside. Now, looking at the GBP USD, we took a little bit of a turn yesterday, but still remaining buoyant. Okay, very close to our all-time highs as there's some optimism with this Brexit. Now, looking at the South African Rand, this is really important because we're hitting the support level right here, a 1460-ish level. This was previous resistance, and we may bounce off of this, okay? So be aware of this potential trade later today going into next week, as this looks like it's making this double bottom here, previous resistance as well. So with that said, just take a look at this as well. And then the Aussie dollar, doing the inverse relationship, okay, the same thing, just upside down, right? Hitting this resistance level at this 0.6868-ish level right there and right there. So this may actually retrace here. If it does break this area, that is a major correction for the Aussie dollar and for the Rand on the opposite end, okay? So just be aware of those two potential trades as those unfold later this week, okay? Now, lastly, looking at oil, okay, had a nice little breakout finally, okay, after trading in this really tight range. Okay, we've been trading at this 54 to 53-ish level and then finally breaking it out higher yesterday. Now, we do have resistance at 56.76 up here, so just be aware of that, okay, if it does rally. This is probably the biggest gain we've had since we had the oil crisis and the refineries that were bombed in Saudi Arabia, which is right here. So since then, this is really the largest play that we've had since then. Okay, with that said, okay, if this may actually induce a new rally. Okay, so with that said, just be aware of your resistance levels. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, pretty much unchanged, 26,791. Okay, not really doing much, but when we look at the stocks, they're strong. JP Morgan, new all-time highs at 124.86. Okay, it's not, you know, to 125, 126, but it is remaining very strong, okay? Like I mentioned yesterday, if people are buying at these levels, they're not anticipating that it's going to go to 125. They're anticipating it's going to go to 135, okay? This is really the top of the move. Looking at Apple as well, $242 a share. Tremendous rally for Apple as well. Now, if we look at the other stocks, they're not, you know, they're not as buoyant, okay? Microsoft kind of, you know, wavering off to this lower limit here at 135-ish level, bouncing off of it finally, but not breaking out higher. So I think the companies are really, or the market is really waiting for the confirmation from these earning reports that are happening and ongoing right now. And then we're going to get either a rally or somewhat of a sell-off. But it seems more likely that we'll have a rally, despite the time of the year that we're trading, where we normally sell off. So this is some of the things that are going on, and you've got to keep it on the radar, because you know, with all this news coming out, you want to make sure you're on the right side. So this is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.